guys, thanks for checking out my channel. My name is Eric and I love all things Disney, but today we're going to actually talk about something Star Wars. And like I said in my last video, Star Wars is owned by Disney, so that counts, right? If you didn't know, I actually had a chance to go to Star Wars Celebration in Chicago last week, and I wanted to give you guys like my review and my thoughts on the conference. So it was my first time to Star Wars Celebration, and you can check out my previous video where I went through all the merchandise I brought back, which was a lot, and you can see some of the cool stuff there. But I wanted to break down what I thought of the weekend, what the experience was like, and if I would do it again, because there is going to be another celebration next year in Anaheim. So before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, because it does really help me out. Was that too many reallys? Not sure. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter because I post things from my experiences like at Star Wars Celebration. I post photos every day, and I'm going to Walt Disney World in a few weeks, so I will be posting tons of content for that as well. All right, are you ready? I'm gonna try and break this down into 3 different categories, and we're gonna talk about the panels, the exhibits, and the merchandise. And we'll kind of hit on the entire show as a whole through those 3 things, but those are the 3 lenses that I wanted to look at things through. So let's start with what a panel is. So a panel is basically when they put a group of people on a stage and you get to watch them interact and answer questions and talk about a specific topic. Each day there is a main panel, and those are part of a lottery system, which I'll talk about the lottery in a second. But those are like the big ones. So that was the Episode 9 panel, the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order panel, the Galaxy's Edge panel. So all the big ones. And then there are some smaller panels throughout the day. So like there was a Clone Wars panel, there was a Rebels panel, there was a Hasbro panel. So just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that go on, and it's very typical of a conference this style. Overall, the panels were fun, and I think they were pretty diverse. I'm a little bit confused about the scheduling of some because it did feel like they were trying to make you choose between some of the bigger panels by forcing them to overlap a little bit. Didn't love that, but thankfully most of them are online because they were streamed online to some extent, or people recorded them and put them up on YouTube. So the ones I did miss, like the Rebels panel, I was able to watch. But overall, I like the panels that we did get into. We didn't spend a lot of time in the panels. We did do at least one a day, and we enjoyed it. Now let's talk about the lottery system, because this is where it gets a little bit tricky. This is the first year they try to do a digital lottery or a digital queue to go to the major panels. And instead of waiting out overnight, which I wasn't a fan of having to do anyway and I didn't want to do, you could basically register yourself or your group for each of the major panels. So 1 panel per day. So that's the Episode 9 panel, the Galaxy's Edge panel, the Mandalorian panel, the Episode 1 20th Anniversary panel. So there are panels throughout the entire weekend that you could register and win a chance to go see and sit. Now, with that being said, not everyone won a place in one of these panels. We won a place in the overflow for the Episode 1 20th Anniversary panel. So we basically got to sit down and watch the panel on the screen broadcast from across the street. I didn't love that. I thought the overflows should be just overflows and you can line up if you want to for that. It was really weird to win a ticket to sit in a overflow, because they also broadcast all the panels in the main exhibit hall where the StarWars.com stage is. And that was really cool. We actually watched the Galaxy's Edge and the Mandalorian panels there both of those days, and it was pretty easy to do. There wasn't a huge crowd. The only thing that had a huge crowd was the Episode 9 panel, which is what you'd expect. But overall, I didn't love the lottery system because not everyone won one. Some people didn't win any, and some people won as many as 3. I met someone that won 3 of the major panels. That just didn't seem fair. So I kind of hope that next year they tweak it a little bit. I think they need to keep the lottery. And maybe you get 1 entry per day that you're going to be there, and you can put all your eggs in one basket, or you can diversify them and spread 1 across all of that. And maybe like they can guarantee that if you do that, like you get into one of the panels then. I don't know, that makes a little more sense to me logistically and makes it a little bit more fun for everyone, because we really couldn't understand any of the Episode 9 panels. So thankfully, I had taken my Chromecast, we watched it in the hotel that night, and it was fine. It just was not ideal when those are really kind of the big draws to be in there, right? The teaser for Episode 9 was a huge draw, and we didn't really know what all happened in it. We could see it, but we didn't understand the words of it, except for that mysterious cackle. Yeah, so we just watched it later, which was fine. But again, the last thing I'll say about the panels is that you do get to see that exclusive content. So there's exclusive content for The Mandalorian that they only showed at the panel. We saw the first part that was in the middle of the conference, and they told us don't record this, and then they didn't show us the last part. And so you have to watch shaky cam from the Wintrust Arena for that. Again, not ideal. It's a weird marketing decision this day and age because you figure that Disney would want to control that messaging, and instead of having this shaky cam situation, they could just put out there and put not finished footage. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm sure there's some logistics there. It might have to do with Disney Plus and all the people that are involved in all that. Not sure. Just saying it's not ideal, but if you're there, you can see that. Or like I was trying to watch the Resistance Season 2 sneak peek panel on YouTube, and they cut away from that sneak peek as well. So I got to hear the panel, but I didn't get to actually see any new footage from it. So kind of weird. I'm not sure. Now let's talk about the exhibits. So I mentioned that we watched the panels from the exhibit hall, and the exhibit hall is huge. There's tons of exhibits, and some of them are merchandise driven. So there's a Funko, Lego, Hasbro booth, and there's a lot of little like smaller sellers with some rare exclusives, or they did some trading things. My friends really love that because they collect the smaller figures and they could find some really rare ones for a decent price. Now, some of those things were wildly marked up. I saw one in Target that's $30 there and it was going for $60 on the show floor. So just be careful when you do those kind of things. But there's other exhibits too, and those are more like actual experiences. So we'll come back to merchandise in a second, but I want to focus more on the exhibits that are actually more experiences. And there were a couple of those. There was the Galaxy's Edge experience, and that was really awesome. You could actually sit in the ride vehicle for Rise of the Resistance, and the droid operated and moved around you, so really cool there. And then you actually got a first look at some of the merchandise they're gonna be selling in Galaxy's Edge. And I thought that was really neat, and they actually swapped up the merchandise day to day. I only got to do it one day because the line was always long for it. But it was still really cool to see the droids and how you're gonna be able to custom build those droids and what that actually looks like. And then also some of the pre-built droids. So you can buy a C-3PO or an R2-D2 or a DJ Rex. And DJ Rex is a Bluetooth speaker that DJs over your music. I don't know how much he's gonna be, but that sounds really awesome. And as far as I know, they're gonna be there on day one. So be sure to check out those things if you're gonna go to Galaxy's Edge. That's really exciting if you love Disney parks. The last really cool thing about the Galaxy's Edge panel is they're actually forming a holocron from stories that you could put about your Star Wars experiences and why you love Star Wars or why you're excited for Galaxy's Edge. So everyone who went through the queue actually got to record that, and then that will go in a holocron in the park, which I thought was a really neat and very Star Wars, Disney parks kind of thing to do. The cast members were great. I think it was awesome. The other exhibit that was really cool, but I didn't get to do, was the Vader Immortal VR series. And it had a 3-hour wait. I didn't wait for it. So it's an Oculus game and you could actually play it. But it looked really cool. And I didn't go to the panel for that one either because it overlapped with something else. But everything I know looks really cool about it. I'm kind of sad it's not coming to PlayStation VR because I don't really know how I'm going to play it. But we'll figure that out. If you did do that panel, or if you're interested in Vader VR or know more information about it, let me know in the comments because I don't really know much about it other than it is a VR experience. And I think that you're playing as Vader, pretty sure. Before we move on from that, one thing about the way they did exhibits. They had a fast pass-like system they called Fastlane. It didn't work the first few days, and then it sold out really quickly, or booked up really quickly. And then on top of that, even though you had one, you weren't guaranteed to get in. I saw a guy get kind of upset, I understand why, with a Disney Parks cast member who had nothing to do with it because they had to cap off the fast line. And he didn't understand why, because he wasn't right there on the moment he was supposed to be there. And again, I just think that those are things they could work out and make the system a little bit better and make the experience better for everyone overall. They also did that fast lane for merchandise. So let's talk about the Star Wars Celebration store. That was a little bit crazy. The first day we were there, if you have a 5-day pass, you can go the first day and you can walk the exhibit hall. That's all it really is, and there's a store. The store had a person that, according to Reddit, waited 9 hours to get into it. We were not going to do that. So we explored and we decided, hey, we don't have a way to really watch the episode 9 panel very well. We can watch it in the exhibit hall, but it's probably gonna be crowded. So let's get there early. The store opens at 9. We will go to the store first thing and hopefully be able to catch the panel. And we actually got out right as the panel had started. JJ and Kathleen Kennedy were out on stage, but we didn't really miss much. We were playing on our phones, and all the workers and crew were also watching on their phones and watching our phones. It's weird. So everyone was really good spirited about it. And so we waited about an hour and a half. So about a half hour after the store opened. It took us about a half hour to get through it because it's basically a big room and it's just kind of hectic and you're all looking for things and there's stuff in the back because it sells out on the floor and they had to go get it and all that kind of stuff. But it was really cool. The merchandise was pretty neat. And like I said, if you want to check out my haul video, you can do that. They had a huge Loth Wolf. So if you're a Star Wars Rebels fan, that was really neat. I think you actually could buy him. I don't know how you get him home. But speaking of getting things home, there was also supposed to be an option in the app to allow you to order things and have them shipped directly to your house. that never came to fruition. They quickly removed it. It was supposed to work on the second day, and then it never did, and then on the third day, it just took you to the list of things that they were gonna have in the store. Speaking of the store, one thing I didn't know they did not announce was they started getting in exclusive merchandise later on the weekend. So they got in Rise of Skywalker t-shirts, which is awesome. I really wanted one. A company on the show floor also had them, designed by humans, but they sold out really quick, and I missed out on that because it was really limited. And the guy actually said that they only made so many because they only found out about it like a few days before the celebration, so they could only print as much as they could. And I get it, totally get it. They all were on Amazon as well. I guess the only difference is on the back and the collar. So I ordered one off of Amazon, and that's totally fine. I just would have liked to know, because I probably would have tried to go to the store once more, but there was nothing drawing me back to the store. So anyway, that is what it is. The other merchandise they had was some major vendors, like I said, Hasbro, Lego, and Funko. And like the panels, this also had a lottery system. Now, this one was a little bit different. You could register for each panel. There was no group, but you could also put like 2 other names in it. I don't understand how this works. So I put my name in, and it's all registered to your card, so you can only register once. And then I listed the names of 2 of my companions that were with me. I don't know. I won 2 of the lotteries. I won Funko and Hasbro. Didn't win Lego, which, okay, it's fine. That was probably the one I wanted, but I was the only one in my group before that even won a lottery, and I won 2 of them. Again, I just don't think that that's the fairest way to do it. And the other thing that's interesting is, like, Funko sold out of things. So my lottery win was the first day, and I was able to buy everything, which helped out for all my friends that wanted them. But when you look the second or third day, the Darth Maul Pop was sold out, and that was an exclusive for lottery winners. So I'm really confused if they just didn't have enough for all the lottery winners, or how that worked. I didn't find that out. But to me, if you win the lottery and then you can't get what you're supposed to have won the right to get, it feels a little shady as well. I'm sure that has to do with the vendors and production, all those kind of things. But yeah, I just didn't love that. And then meanwhile, Hasbro, they were selling them normally. I'm not sure how that worked either, because by the third day, you could line up at the end of the day and just buy the figures that people won the lottery for. Lego sold out almost instantly. I don't think you could do that. I was not told that you could do that. The only exclusive thing that people could line up for was the Tentative 4 set, autographed by, I believe, the designer. And that is the UCS set that doesn't come out until May 4th. So you had early access to that, and it was autographed. It was normal retail price. They got in like 50, 100, 75, and 25 respective days. I wasn't gonna line up for that because, according to my friends, the autograph doesn't do a whole lot for you, and I really wanted it to build. So doesn't really do me good when I want to open the box anyway. Other than that, they had a lot of cool merchandise. Like I said, there were a lot of stores there, smaller stores, online stores that just had a lot of cool older merchandise, some things I'd never seen before. There were some things from Disney parks. There were tons of t-shirts, and as far as I could tell, most of it was officially licensed. So it was really neat, and it really gave you a variety of things you could get. But overall, the merchandise in terms of the lottery, again, like the panels, is a little bit of a downer just because it didn't work out. Now, it worked out for my group because my friends wanted the Hasbro thing. We were actually all able to buy everything, so I'm not really sure how that works, but yeah, it was okay. Let me know if you had other experiences with these online lotteries and what your take is on those. I know Funko does them at almost every conference they're at, so it's not a new thing, and I think the merchandise lottery is very common for Star Wars. The panel lotteries were different. But overall, I thought it was a really good weekend. I had a lot of fun. I was actually pretty apprehensive about going because I was like, oh, why am I going? It's Chicago. I just need to work and get things done. I feel like I've just had so much to do at work that it was really hard to step away from. But it was really good, and I'm really excited for it. And they actually announced at the end of the conference that they're doing one next year in 2020 in Anaheim, which we found out about as we were driving home, and my friend Chris immediately texted me because he lives 7 minutes from the conference center. So you coming out to Anaheim? And I was like, do you have a floor I can sleep on? He's like, better, I have a couch. And I was like, can we go to Disneyland? And I started checking prices of flights with Southwest, and it's not that bad when you don't have to worry about a hotel. So I'm pretty sure in April I'll be out in Anaheim next year. So it'll be fun. I'm interested to see what they do. It'll be the 40th anniversary of Empire, so that's probably why they're doing it. It sets them up to have one on the 25th anniversary of Celebration, because this was the 20th anniversary, which they didn't do a whole lot for in terms of that title, but it was cool to be there and be a part of that. It does feel like it brought a really big crowd because it was the Midwest, so people from all over still came, including people from Florida. You know, it's been in Orlando, but then you also got people like us that it was a lot easier to go to because we could just drive the 6 hours and get to Chicago. So those are my thoughts on Star Wars Celebration. Let me know in the comments below if you were there, what you thought, if you agree with me, if you had different experiences. I'd love to find out and share those with the community, because then we know what we're getting ourselves into and helps everyone figure out how to plan if they're going next year, which I'm sure tickets will go on sale in a few months, because I think we bought them in June or August last year. So not too far away. Let me know also if you're going to be in Anaheim, because like I said, I am 99% certain that I will be there, so it'll be cool to meet up with some of the West Coast people and hit up Disneyland, because I've only been there once, and it'll be the 65th anniversary. So what could go wrong? All right, like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You can hit me up there too if you want to talk more about this topic. But until next time, I hope you have a really magical day.